What is up, everyone, and welcome to That Kind of Love podcast. I am your host, Logan.
And I am your boy, Trey Hodge.
So you just gonna throw your last name in there like that? I didn't even say mine.
It's important.
I didn't even say mine.
It's important.
But anyway, welcome back, you guys. I mean, for the ones who've known, we've tried this podcast thing with almost like a year ago now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do it this whole year.
Yeah, we've been on a little hiatus, I guess. Y'all probably wondering, like, dang, what happened? Because we get a lot of questions. Like, some people, they don't see us on a daily basis, but then they see us and be like, when y'all starting?
Yeah, when are we going to do it
and
again?
I'll be like,
Niggas tired.
I don't know when that's going to happen. But reality was, I just got drained. It's hard. I applaud anybody who does a podcast for longer than a month, especially if you're doing it on a weekly basis. Like, this bug is hard, but we back now. I feel like we kind of got it together. Y'all not gonna get one every week though.
Nah,
but
not at all.
Nah. But the ones you do get will be very funny. You have information in it and just real, genuine conversation.
Yeah, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it do what it do.
For sure.
Y'all gonna like it though.
I think so. I hope so. I really don't care. I'm just kidding. We love y'all.
See, that's the whole thing. Logan make it seem like that she's like loving y'all and want to give y'all this stuff. She don't care about none of y'all. She don't care about none of y'all.
Stop telling the people these lies. I care.
I'm the one that truly cares. But
okay.
She cares about the podcast. Don't even talk about my shirt. I know.
Okay, so for future reference, we are also like video recording these. For people who like to see a visual while they're like listening to people talk. If you're not seeing the visual, Trey's shirt is so regal.
Don't worry about I just pulled it out the drawer. I didn't want to wear the other ones, so I
that wasn't regal.
Bro, man,
it's cool.
This sleep swag, this sleep swag on 100.
So silly. But yeah, so we're back. We forgot to tell people who haven't heard our podcast or our Facebook Live is what we used to do. This is a podcast about relationships. This time around, it won't be strictly that, but for the most part, we try to help people with tips and tricks to help, with them in their relationships or getting into relationships.
And all the above.
Yeah.
Really.
So basically, side note, Trey and I have been together for 8 years now. It made 8 years in October. And we've been married for 2 years.
Yep. In October.
Yep. So, I feel like we know a lot of stuff, and we're still learning a lot of stuff from the people around us, and we like to share that information with anybody who needs it or wants to hear it. So,
anybody.
Hey,
actually, y'all need to really listen. Like, sometimes I be looking at people's stuff and all these comments, and I ain't talking about y'all. Like, I ain't talking about y'all that's listening, but I'm talking about y'all who need to listen.
Facebook crazy. Facebook crazy.
What's one of the latest posts you seen that like really, took you like?
Okay, so the latest post, literally the other day, a friend of mine posted, it's a flex, like not having kids. And when I tell you this girl had like, Zoe, you listening? I know you listening, but like she had like 200 plus comments, and let me tell you, 70% of them was ignorant. Just ignorant stuff. And I'm like, you guys, like, life does not have to be this hard. but me personally, I understand what Facebook is for. It's for people to just share random opinions that they probably don't believe in, but they just like arguing. So this is our podcast for stuff like that, where we talk about stuff that we see and really try to get down to it. Like, we got jokes, but in reality, we're like, you guys, get your shit together.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, life is, in my opinion, from what I see other people, life is a lot easier to not have kids before, like, you married, before, at this age to not have kids.
I think the problem that people were having is using the word flex.
Okay.
Because, like, some people say flex is like, I'm stunting on you, I'm showing out, I'm better than you. Yeah. And then some people are just like, I'm flexing because I'm happy for what I have. So that was the huge debate that nobody was, like, understanding with each other, but I digress, because Jesus Christ. But let's get into this. Let's just go ahead and get it. I feel like we caught everybody up. If you ain't caught up, just go look on our Instagram.
Then catch up.
If you ain't caught up, you need to catch up. But when I was thinking about restarting the podcast, I was thinking about the first topic. I was like, dang, it can't be boring. It can't be crazy. But the main thing that I thought was like, let's start with the root. And the root of most people's problem is that they're never on the same page, that they're with the person they're in a relationship with or trying to be with one. Like, once you like somebody, you be like, that's my man. You can't tell me nothing. But I'm like, I don't think he know that. Like, I think he think y'all just chilling. Like, I think he think we just kiss a lot. That's it.
Yeah, boot up. That's it. It's
and I was like, and it's funny because like just being on the same page with somebody is going to get rid of all the confusion. Yeah. It might get rid of the heartbreak.
I mean, like, but you got to go into detail about what that means, because some people be like, yeah, we on the same page. We like to eat the same thing. We like to do the same thing.
So that just means you don't like the same thing.
That don't mean you on the same page.
Okay, so for instance, like, there's this thing where people are like, what is dating? What is talking? Like, what is just texting? Like, what are these, like, little bitty stages before we're, like, official, right? And I was like, people think it's unnecessary, because they're like, if I'm talking to you, that means we're dating. Like, that's it. Like, we're dating. And I'm like, well, can they date other people, too? Or is it like dating and then exclusivity and then like relationship? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what these young people do, because we didn't go through that. Yeah. It was like, yo, I like you, you like me, be my girl.
Man, like, I was literally gonna say that because I don't think I ever like dated. Me personally, I don't remember.
Decided dating. You like somebody, and you was like, my girl.
we gonna hook up. Yeah. You know, I ain't.
Okay, so in reference, I know y'all all like, what the hell. So Trey and I got together at like 20. Yeah. So we were still technically kids. Yeah. So he's talking about like high school, middle school. Like there was no such thing as that.
Yeah, of course
now,
not.
For people who are adults now, almost 30. Damn, we almost 30. Yeah. But there's stages to it, and it gets frustrating for some people, particularly women. They're more inclined to get frustrated with that
because they ready to get for somebody to pop that question.
Exactly, you know, because they're already in their
rushing
mind.
People,
but that's where it comes with being on the same page. So if we're both on the same page of okay, we're dating and filling each other out, then there's no confusion 6 months down the line where you're like, what are we? What we doing?
Okay, so and that's the thing. Like you got to make sure that like because some female, from what I hear. Some women. I'm sorry. Okay, I gotta say that one. So my grammar, y'all just have to excuse me and the words.
It's not disrespectful. I just prefer to hear the word woman over female because you don't say male.
Yeah, so people who listen to this don't like get on me because I don't mean it like that. I'm just talking, but I'm gonna work on myself. But I feel like a lot of times they're not on the same page, but like. A lot of times with women, they're like so gun-ho on, we got to be together. We got to, I'm working towards something.
Because a lot of people are dating for marriage. They're not dating just to play. So that's why you have to be on the same page with the person that you are trying to pursue or be with. And a lot of times people skip that part and just assume, you should know, I'm 30, that I'm ready to get married. And I'm like, but you can't assume that because there's also so many women who don't want that. And then there's some men who do and end up getting their heart broken. So it's like, you have to be on the same page. And this is literally just before the relationship even starts. Imagine when you're actually in a full committed one and you're like, not on the same page about anything. Yeah. That's why it confuses me sometimes when people just be like, we really liked each other, so we just decided to move in and like do stuff. But y'all not even on the same page of how you see relationships. Yeah. Because trust me, that's a huge deal. People view relationships completely different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I'm for the moving in with each other type thing. I'm just like, I don't remember what time we started.
Yeah, but it's
we on a time crunch. But like, I don't even understand what is people's mentality. Like, I want to move in together. Like, what point in your mind are you like, okay? And I feel like that's more so based on logic
and the time limit too.
A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people base it on logic and what was it? Logic and feelings. Like it makes sense for us to move in together, both use the same money, so on and so forth. And then I really like you. Yeah. I think we should move in together.
Which you know, I don't knock people who do it because it does work out for people sometimes. I just think that once again you're skipping steps and literally just taking a month or two to like do the proper step, then you won't be in that weird space after 3 months. Yeah. Because the 3 months is like, oh, this is great. It's new. Like, y'all are really nice to each other. Like, y'all probably having a lot of sex. Like, it's great. But after that 3 months, when you get tired of seeing that same person every single day, things change, and then you're looking hella confused. Like, what happened? It used to be fun. I'm like, but this is how I am every day at my own house when you don't see me. So it's like I said, being on the same page about the relationship will definitely nip a lot of problems in the bud.
I don't know. For me, y'all got to pray for me on that, because like when I hear about that and I hear things go bad, I be like, that's your fault.
No, for sure. Like,
that's straight up your fault.
You guys, for sure. What I'm saying is do you, but if you ask me for my advice and what I think you should do, you shouldn't do that. Because now, granted, it doesn't end bad for a lot of people, but you go through a lot of headaches that could have been helped a little bit if you just took your time a little bit. Now, sometimes I get it's a situational thing where it just happens to happen, which do what's best for you, like financially and mentally. But if you can avoid it for a little bit, then do that.
And I ain't gonna lie, that's something that y'all got to work with me on. Like, don't judge me right away. Give me some time, because
he's not really like a prude or nothing. Yeah, like
no,
that.
I ain't like that. Like,
we just know how hard it is to really work on a relationship, and then thinking about the financial burden and like the living together before you're like really, really like attached to each other. We could picture how difficult that is. Because
just going the route that we went, it was pretty difficult itself. Yeah. So like, put on that on top of that, like sex anytime you want, because y'all living together. Well, not anytime, but like that, and then other emotions that's
just everything. With it. Like you never know. It's like you never know how people want stuff cooked. Like how people like their stuff folded.
Like we 2 years in marriage, and we just now kind of like getting on the page with that.
Like we still be looking at each other like, why? Like, why did you do that? You know, stuff like that. But also, another thing I want to bring up is, I don't know if you've seen it, because Trey don't be on social media like that.
I haven't been lately.
But I don't know if y'all seen this, but the whole thing with Sweetie and Quavo, and she was talking about BIRKIN bags. And she was like, if your dude ain't buying you BIRKIN bags, then like y'all ain't doing nothing, right? And I get what she was saying. She talking about BIRKIN bags because they can afford BIRKIN bags. And like everybody was like in a frenzy, like we in the middle of a pandemic, like we talking about the presidency, we fighting for our rights, and y'all arguing over like BIRKIN bags. And I'm like, you guys, she ain't talking about BIRKIN bags. She talking about being on the same page. If you have a woman who wants certain things and you're complaining about getting them or feeling like it's too much, then y'all ain't on the same page of what y'all view relationships as. So like when I heard that, I was like, yeah, she flexing hard. But I'm also like, she got a point. Like if you living a certain lifestyle and then you're expecting the person you with to also live that or be able to afford it or provide for it, then that means y'all need to have a conversation. And if that person can't do it, then y'all don't need to be together, and move on. Don't tell the other person they need to lower their standards. You just not for me because we're not on the same page.
And that comes with another thing why I am a stickler on not moving in together, because you got to learn that for yourself.
Yeah, you got to learn.
First of all, I got to say, Sweetie, Saweetie, whatever her name is, Saweetie.
Don't disrespect her.
No disrespect.
She be spitting.
No disrespect.
But then again, I could be saying her name wrong too. My bad. Don't.
Saweetie.
Don't hurt us.
Yeah, Saweetie. But like with that, people just don't. People looking at it like for face value, like what, you said, just what she said, and like I'm not at your point, but I'm like, people are stupid.
No, for sure. Like,
but I don't hate people. I love people.
Listen to our podcast. But like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people, once again, that's people not understanding. It's about being on the same page. Yeah. Like, also, like a few months ago, because in our group text, we have a group text with other business owners and stuff like that.
Friends.
They're friends. Owners. They're friends and business owners. But I say business owners because like that's what you gotta like say first. You gotta support your friends, man. Yeah. We'll shout them out later on a different podcast. But usually we be goofing around and like just playing, but the topics that been coming up like the past few months is like either or conversations, like a house or a wedding or like this or that, and I'm like, you guys, and then people argue with you when you say you want both or do stuff like that. I said that's another example of just being on the same page with the person you're trying to be with. I'm like, when me and Trey got together, it wasn't no, do I want a house or a wedding? We getting both because that's what I want. But then, you know, other people will be
that's
like,
what we want.
Yeah. I mean, that's also what I wanted, but you know.
we had the understanding that you knew that I wanted to do whatever it takes to make you happy. So we was on that same page.
But you also wanted a
we
wedding
wanted to show
and
out.
a house.
We wanted to be seen. Without a doubt. We wanted to be seen.
But the point is we were on the same page about it. And because we were on the same page, there was no conflict. So when you have we're going to say woman because of the scenario. The woman is like, yo, I want a wedding. And then the guy's like, but I can buy you a house. Now y'all not on the same page. And now there's conflict. And you have people saying, well, the house is more important than the wedding. I'm like, but for you, but for me, I want both.
And then coming from a male's perspective, it sounds so logically correct.
Yeah, which is true. Like, I agree. I'm not going to front. I agree. Yes, a house will be more important, but you have to understand everybody's situation. We might not need a house. People are so going home needing the house. So, but I digress because I could go into that topic a whole bunch, which I think we should do a podcast on that. But
you're going to write that down.
Yeah, I am. But the point is, being on the same page is always the most important thing, regardless of like what the outcome of it is.
On that that particular like point, like it's just so crazy to me how like us as men, we think of things in a certain way, like how much.
And we back, so we back.
Yeah, but like I was saying, like from the perspective of a male, it's like that makes so much sense. It's hard for us to be like, bro, like why you want to spend like I got to put a down payment on a house of 10 racks, but you want to put that on a wedding that's not going to appreciate in value. It's not an asset whatsoever.
Okay, Mr.
No,
I know. But like I say, I agree. But being on the same page is all that matters.
Yeah, I mean,
in that sense.
My thing is just like it's so hard for a man to be like a man. It's so hard for a man to just to come to wits with that, and that's why it's like this can be a whole nother conversation. Is like women submit to the men, but the men need to submit / listen to the women as well. And when I say like don't come for me, like,
not literally, like, y'all basically is literally like listen to your wife, like,
listen to your wife
about certain stuff sometimes,
because we would go off and do so many things in certain ways, and like I literally was setting up our family and life to be just plain blank and boring, just going this one route. Because I was like, nah, we can't go on vacations. We got to get this money. We can't do this. We got to get some this money. And like you miss life, like you know. So that's just something I had to come to wits with because you know in my upbringing I saw a lot of that hard work. But that's because my dad was a hustler. Like he was gonna get it. He was gonna make it happen. So it's just a lot harder for us as men to succumb to that, to be like, all right, let's but just
also
have
you guys
wedding.
like just on that specific topic, you can also not have like a wedding that's like $50,000. Like you can still have a wedding and it be a decent amount of money, and then get you a house. Hell, buy the house and have a wedding at the house. Like, come on, y'all. Like, be on the same page. That's all I have to say about stuff like that. Yeah, I was like, but that Birkin thing had people in a frenzy. Like, people were so upset. And I'm like, you guys, she only talking about Birkins because that's what she buying. Yeah. But she could be talking about $10 shoes at Walmart. Like, it don't matter. Like,
people don't understand. Her family got money. She come from a family.
They come from. So she comes from a very smart financial family.
She's not worried about this Cornelius virus right now. They're worried about it, but financially, I think they are okay.
But the thing is, like, literally, people ignored what she said, and all they heard was Birkin.
Birkin, yeah.
And she was just like,
I don't like Birkin. I want Gucci.
Like, literally, she was saying, be with somebody who y'all are on the same page about how y'all want to live and what you want. Mm-hmm. Like, but also don't be no broke bitch asking somebody rich to just buy you stuff either. Yeah. But that's for sure another topic. But so before we go out, it's one more topic that I've seen recently, and I kind of wanted to get like Trey's perspective on it because like I didn't like just up and ask him, but it was about the men. It was like I keep seeing this a lot, especially from women. Like some men say it too, but not as drastically. And they were like, men know after like 6 months if they want to marry you. And I was like, like how? Obviously, we're just gonna say older men. We're not gonna talk about like young. We're gonna say like 30 and older.
Yeah.
After 6 months, and I was like, well, I kind of know my perspective from like women, but I want to get your perspective.
I mean, I can talk about from me personally, and then I can talk about from a man perspective. So, I tailored my life the way I grew up, the way I was raised. So that was what a lot of my views were. So my parents got married at 25, been together, for 25 years. Then they eventually got divorced. But that was the motto in my family: get married. I mean, people considered it early. I don't consider that early, but you marry, have kids, so on and so forth. So in my mind, I knew eventually I was going to get married either way.
Yeah.
So when it came to, I wouldn't say when we first started dating, I wasn't like, I was freaking 20.
Yeah. Like, no, for sure. That's what like it's kind of tricky talking about us personally because we were so young. Yeah. So I wasn't even thinking like.
Yeah, but for somebody else, like I'm trying to think of any friends of mine, like see, all my friends are like people that know what they want.
Yeah.
I guess that's more so the thing. Yeah. You just have to be, as a man, you have to know, all right, this is what I want. You know, this is what I want. I want to be married. I want this. Because, I mean, if you want to play around, that's cool. Like, that's cool. You can do that. But you can't. I'm sure a lot of people will have respect for you. A lot of women will have respect for you if you came off and told them, hey, I just want to play around. Or I'm struggling. Like, I kind of want to be in a relationship. I kind of want to have this. But I got my own things that I'm struggling with as well. Now, she's probably not going to go for it. But y'all might be good friends. Y'all might get a little something, get some stuff going on. But
what are you talking about?
Sex. Y'all might be
Yeah, I understand that. But, like, where are we going?
I'm telling you the man's perspective.
Okay.
Did I go on a rant?
A little bit. Like it just felt like I felt like he was over explaining, but I was just like,
well, I'm literally I'm pulling the Kanye. I had a thought, and then I had another thought, and I had to say that thought so I can go to
Well, I guess you say all in all, it's really just depending on the person. It's not so much of like just him in general because if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're intent and y'all on the same page about being married or getting married or wanting to be married, then now you're in the mode of like, okay, we've been together for 6 months.
My focus has shifted.
I've seen you I've seen you in your different stages, and I feel like I can deal with that. Yeah. I feel like you're willing to change, and I'm willing to change for you, and things like that.
See, and then at times, well, number one, for us, it wasn't 6 months.
No, for sure. No, I don't think. I know for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't 6 months. But I would just say like
6 months is not that long. Like I wish people would say like a year. Like a year is a long time. Yeah. Like you go through different seasons within a year. Like 6 months, you could be full blown happy for 6 straight months. Yeah. With no anger, no disappointment, no nothing. And you cannot build a relationship based off somebody's happy time.
I feel like that is not first of all, like I said, first of all, you have to be in the right mindset. That's the first thing. The second thing, I feel like you really don't know that you're ready to marry to someone until you go through something tragic in your life. Okay. I mean, that's extreme. Like
tragic?
Like, I'm trying to think of an example. I just don't want to use our personal examples.
But what is it? This is what it's for. Like,
okay, so situation with ex-best friend.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of going.
We don't speak her name.
Yeah, we don't speak that name. But just like go through some stuff. Like you got to go through some stuff to see. Okay, by us getting through that, I was able to see the qualities in you.
Yeah,
and then I can move forward.
Get through it. It's
exactly.
Like,
but it's not necessarily that we couldn't get through it because sometimes it's tough to get through things. It's more so how we got through it.
Yeah, no.
That's more so what that was about.
Yeah. So, I was gonna say, you had asked somebody else about this.
Yeah. So, I had Saturday, went up to the barbershop, right? Had to get chopped, because I got to make sure that fade is on
Get
point.
to the point.
Right? But, in the barbershop, we be talking, so on and so forth. So I just asked him as well. Because you
asked them the same question.
Yeah, because you was talking about the topic you wanted to talk about today. We didn't really go into detail about it, but I asked him, and he was literally he said the same thing pretty much. He was like 6 months it can be when people say in 6 months, put that statement out there like that, it's so general that they just you need to fall in line with that.
Yeah. And
that's not always the case. It's individually based on each person.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that he was saying. He was like, for me and my wife, it wasn't until a year in, and I was like, okay, she has some qualities that I like, some qualities I don't necessarily like, but we can work with it.
Yeah. I agree. I guess all in all, I'm kind of the same. I'm like, yeah, it can happen, but in reality, it just depends on you and what you're specifically looking for. But I don't think it's everybody's I don't think every guy is oh, it's 6 month mark, I know if I want to be with them or not. You might have an idea, but not oh, I want to marry them.
This is gonna sound so bad, but for the women that say that to men and is a stickler on that, I don't even want to say lighten up, because that's you. That's who you are.
But I guess also saying not all men know exactly what they want. Now somebody would know if they don't want to be with you after 6 months for sure. Well, because people show their true colors quickly when they don't get what they want. So I think you know that you don't before you do.
Yeah, for sure. Because if the initial way that some certain people react to certain things, from a man's perspective, if I see a girl and she's a woman and she's handling herself a certain way, literally, it's been times before when we were dating, I was yo, I can already tell if I were to pursue her, that would be nothing but just play. That literally nothing but just play.
Yeah,
honestly.
Because in another post that I saw, y'all, I be on social media, but it was another post where a guy was tweeting, and I don't remember the exact numbers, so don't quote me, but he was dating for 2 years, engagement. What was it? No, it was 2 years of dating. He was doing a timeline, and women were in a fucking frenzy, but that's kind of how we went. It was dating for 2 years and then engagement.
No, we were.
No. Okay. I'm not saying specifically. I'm just saying we did long periods of dating, and then our engagement was 2 years. A year and a half or something like that. It was.
Oh, our engagement length. Okay,
and then they were
it was a year.
Yeah, it was
almost.
No, it was no. He said getting to know each other for a year or 2 years, dating for 5, and then engagement for 2 years.
I don't even know what getting to know you is.
Try
what form?
That's what I'm saying. People, the getting to know you is we just chilling. We not really
okay. They were friends with benefits.
We not official. You don't have to be benefits. You ain't gotta be fucking nobody.
Okay, well I guess that's what I wasn't meaning benefits with.
Yeah, benefits. We're getting to know each other. We're spending time with each other. I
wasn't saying benefits with the capital B. I was saying benefits.
Shut up! Oh my god. But like I said, I'm just mad I can't remember it. It's on my phone, but we're recording on my phone, so I can't remember it. But people were in a frenzy, and I'm like, you guys, that's normal.
Yeah.
I said, that's y'all problem now. Y'all think, oh, I like this person, he provide for me, let's get married and let's do the darn thing. Let's do the darn thing. I wanted to say damn, but I feel like I cussed a lot already. Yeah. So, but I was like, people
haven't hit my meter yet, so.
Okay. But people were in a frenzy, and I'm like, you guys, that's normal.
Yeah.
I was all these relationships that y'all adore and they did that. Mm-hmm. They dated for years and then got engaged and then got married. What are y'all?
It's just
what kind of fantasy world do y'all live in that y'all think that these people who've been married for 30, 40 years didn't take time to get to know each other?
It's these damn movies and the pressure that I can honestly say, ladies, y'all have so much pressure put on y'all.
Yeah.
And like, I was really starting to think, I was like, do I sound, I don't even know if this is the correct term, misogynistic, or like so much on ladies, women. I don't want to say like that. Okay.
I think you're being real.
Okay.
And I think you're speaking from a good perspective and less of like, y'all women just don't. It's like you're being real. That's reality.
Well, yeah. So for the ladies, like, y'all have a lot of pressure. Y'all grow up playing with dolls. Dolls are dating the men.
Yeah,
they they get married to them. We literally aren't introduced to that until we watch a movie. Like, I'm literally thinking back on it. No, well, I mean, I'm kind of like a special case because my parents, they like, ever since I was younger, putting in me, don't have sex until you get married, whatever. But
you forgot what you were saying. No, I ain't gonna say nothing to you. Just keep going.
But yeah, y'all have had so much pressure on y'all since birth. So you already had the direction that you want to go in. Okay, I want to get married. That's what I'm intentionally trying to do.
Yeah.
When for us, it's like, we're not really thinking about it. So I understand why women put that on men and have that mentality of, okay, we're dating to marry. But it's like,
and it's funny because like men do the same thing, but y'all just don't put it on social media. Like in a sense, like there's men who want that. They want to be married. They don't want to deal with certain stuff. They're very like, this is what I want. This is how I know I want it. I'm willing to change and adjust for the woman that I love and stuff like that. It's just you don't hear about it because they don't be on Twitter crying about it. True. In that same form, like they'll talk about kings like y'all need to do better, but stuff like that. So, but our time has come that we have to say goodbye.
Yeah.
And that was good. I kind of like this podcast. Like, hopefully, if y'all like it, y'all let us know. If you feel like you want to input on it, go ahead and like comment, below and stuff like that. We'll be posting it on Facebook and we'll post it on YouTube.
Make sure you subscribe.
Please do.
Subscribe.
So,
you got any closing remarks? Anything?
No. I mean, the biggest thing I can say is, because I feel like we had a real genuine conversation, real personal and great. The only thing I can say is be on the same page with whomever you're with in the moment or trying to pursue, because that will save you a lot of headache. Instead of like texting and then waiting 2 days to see what they say later, just be like, yo, I'm not saying like text the person and be like, I want to get married in 10 years. But you can still feel a person out. You can tell when a person is wanting to be in a relationship or just wanting company.
Yeah.
So just work on being on the same page. If you're getting annoyed, just be like, yo, I'm getting a little annoyed because I feel like you're playing with me. Because I feel like I want to be in a relationship. If you don't want that, let me know.
Yeah.
So I can go find somebody else who wants to be in it.
Yeah.
Hey, if I'm telling you I want to be with a dude who's going to buy me steaks when I want steaks and you can't afford it, tell me now. Don't wait.
I'm glad you didn't say that because we wouldn't have been together.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But it was acceptable at the time. We were young. So we worked it out. She still ain't buying me steaks, but that's because I don't eat steaks.
You don't eat steaks.
So, hey, win-win. Win-win. He ain't got to buy it, so he happy.
Yep.
But anyway, thank y'all for tuning in and listening. I forgot the outro that I normally do. So
if you haven't found
peace, love, and happiness. Keep a smile on your face.
With Lawrence.
Smile on your face. Smile on your face. I don't know. I can't remember.
And if you have not, I feel like you were saying that if you have not found your purpose, please do
smile because your life will be
so much better.
Stay swaggy, y'all. Peace. It'll be better next time, y'all. I swear. But peace out, y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.